my ugly ones. Welcome into the community sacred space. This is a very special Samhain episode with the Witch of the Sun and Moon. Okay. Biffrey, biffrey. Alright, so happy Samhain. It is normally a festival that lasts a couple days, but it's celebrated on the eve of October 31st, like Halloween. This is the holiday that supposedly is an origin to Halloween. There's tons of episodes on YouTube with different witches that talk about Samhain and the origins. Jenny Maverell, I believe I said her last name, I'll link her down below. She is a very good creator, a witch, who has tons and tons of information about witchcraft and the origins, especially on different holidays. So if you want to know more about the origins, I suggest going to her because I'm not going to talk about them very much. I would like to do some divination practices for y'all, so let's go ahead and jump into some divination. I'm using my Season of the Witch deck, the Samhain Oracle deck, and this is the very first Oracle deck that I ever got. I had a tarot deck before, but I just never really clicked with tarot, and then I saw this deck and I was like, oh, I'll give it a chance, thinking it was going to be tarot, but it was an Oracle deck, which is different. Tarot is always, oh, you have a card that spit out. We'll read that in a moment. Tarot is always the same cards, so you're always going to have, sometimes decks do them different if they're themed decks, so instead of cups they might be frogs or something, but it means cups. So they're always going to have cups, swords, pentacles, and wands, and then you're always going to have the main face cards. And oracles, they're always completely different. As you see, I pulled Nature Spirit, which I didn't even know that was a card in the deck. So because this is a group reading, if it resonates with you, amazing. If it doesn't, I'm really sorry. It's pulling for whoever is watching. So the Nature Spirit, let's see what, so I have a book and it tells you what each one means. So I'll go ahead and read the Nature Spirit once I can find it. Key words: sacred, playful. On your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. Nature spirits are fun, silly little things who enjoy laughter and a bit of mischief. They are connected to the freedom of expression and know that life is meant to be enjoyed, even among the chaos. The sacredness of nature spirits is not generally acknowledged. The word of Fae has existed alongside the human world of millennia. Our Celtic ancestors saw and believed in fairies. That's actually really funny, and I'm going to tell you in a minute why fairies are actually so important on Samhain. To them, fairies played a role in a bigger world than what met the eye. They are a reminder of things that are priceless in this life, that are often magic is missing in everyday life. If you have pulled Nature Spirit, it could be because you have overlooked details in the daily grind. There are small things in your life that are sacred but have not been given their proper space. This could be a family member or a project in your home. It could be yourself. When was the last time you felt genuine joy? Had it a big belly laugh or felt truly loved and supported? You are being asked to be mindful of the little things in your life. These things are calling you, desperate for your attention. They are a reminder that it is the small things in life that make the world go round. So that's what that one meant. And it fell out of the deck when I was shuffling it. So when I shuffle, I just kind of shuffle the cards like that. I've been trying to get better at it. So I'm gonna do a 3-card spread. I'm going to do, I'm actually not sure what I'm gonna do because I want to have the spirits give you guidance. I want to give you something that might be helpful for your future. And maybe I'll probably pull a card for what's happening right now in your life, what's happening in your future, and guidance that could be helpful for you. So in a moment, I'll start pulling those cards. Oh, you have another card that's jumping out. Okay. It was reversed. It was like this, which some oracle decks have reverse meanings and some do not. This one does. So let's see what this says. Keywords: compassion, wisdom. Birthed from a sea within the belly of the moon, they are wise, felt touches over the heart and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. And in reverse, okay. When the elder is in reverse, know that you are in need of sage advice and should seek that advice before making any decisions. Now is not the time to act impulsively. You do not have everything you need to move forward at this time. Likewise, during the next moon phase, take special care to think before you speak. You may be in danger of saying things that cannot be taken back. Ooh, oh, warning. Okay, y'all. You've been warned. All right, now we're gonna actually get into the reading. So I'm gonna do one more shuffle and hopefully no more cards jump out because it's gonna get extra long video if more cards jump out. Normally I like to spread them, but I don't think I have enough space to do that. So go like that. And I like to try and meditate, open my chakras all the way, starting from the root to the crown. Then I focus in on the third eye and try to intuitively see what card is needing to be pulled to give a reading of what they need to know now, what's happening now, what's going to happen in the future, and advice. What do they need to know now? What is happening in the future? What is happening in the future? What advice do you have for them? What advice? These are your cards. So we have silence, upright, stillness, nothingness, presence. There's a sweet embrace in the nothingness. Stillness brings a presence of self fully embodied. The world moves at such an alarming rate. Sitting inside of a coffee shop, I can hear sirens, cars, construction, people talking and moving. I find myself seeking the quiet of dawn when the earth is still and muted. There is a presence in the silence. There is a space to fill with it when the sound of your voice and the beat of your heart. This is the space of all creation, is free to roam the wild. Stillness is the presence of nothing and the potential for everything. Which knows she must take time to find stillness. It is within nothingness that creation is born. One must be still to hear. One must be still to receive the subtle messages left for us to find. Spirit needs your attention for a few moments to guide you on your path. If silence has paused in your spread, take this opportunity to be still. This card is a reminder to spend time each day to clear your mind. The answer to your question will come when you stop searching, allowing the solution to be present to you. There is no need to rush in this situation, even if you think you must remove your expectations of the situation you are inquiring about. Give this up to the silence and the nothingness. Spirit will take your query and answer them in the right time. Alright, then you had Healer reversed. So that first card was what is happening now, what you need to know now. Healer, guide, facilitator. Listen to the medicine bleeds through her teeth. A river of mercy blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. If you have pulled Healer in reverse, it is because you have taken on too much, and clearing is in order. It is important to cleanse and clear negative energy, especially when you are healing others. Healers are genuinely empaths, a person who picks up and holds energy to those around them. Empaths must take extra precautions to make sure their energy stays clean. Take a few days away from your normal life and spend some time recharging. You cannot heal others if you cannot heal yourself. Voices in reverse. So this is the advice they have to give for you. Sometimes trying too hard to hear the guidance is what destroys the magic. Wait for the answers to appear rather than search for them. Advice is often offered Advice is often offered when we least expect it. Keep an open mind. Don't miss these powerful signs because you are too busy expecting your guidance to come from a different way. Trust in your spirit to offer guidance in ways that serve your highest good. You will come to understand when the time is right. So that's your reading. I feel like silence was talking about how you need to sit in silence and just listen and just let things go, which that felt like step number 1, and then step number 2 was to heal yourself, and maybe in silence you listen to what needs to be let go, what needs to heal yourself, and then step 2 in the future is what you need to do is to heal yourself and let go. So you're listening for those answers and then you're doing it. And then voices, the guidance, the advice for you was to not expect answers in a certain way and to kind of just trust your intuition, let expectations go when you're looking for guidance. And if something resonates with you, then that is the guidance that you need. So have no expectations when looking for the advice for the signs. Sit in silence, let go of anything that you are feeling in that silence and kind of just meditate on how you're feeling and then heal yourself. So I feel like that was pretty sound advice. That was pretty nice. So there's that. I forgot to say why fairies are so important on Samhain. Samhain is believed when the fairies have their wild hunt. And what I am going to be doing is, because I live in Chicago, there's a bunch of lakes, I'm going to be going to one of the rock beaches, and I'm hoping to find a small enough rock with a natural hole in it, so that way I can wear it around my neck, and it's supposed to help you see into the fairy realm and protect you from fairies. And it's just like a fun ritual to do. I haven't done it before, and I'm excited to go do that tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning, which will be when this is released. So that's what I'm doing this morning. And now we're going to be talking about divination with tea. Okay, so no, I have a different divination cup that I use when I do tea leaf readings. This is the cup that I decided to use for you all because it is still important to me, but it is not my personal divination cup. I'm not too sure how this is going to work, because normally to do divination tea readings, you are supposed to drink it kind of like a fortune cookie, like you eat it and that fortune inside of it is for you. But yeah, we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to hope that Spirit connects this to you all. But basically, you drink the tea, you meditate on the questions that you have with the tea. I'm just going to do an overall reading, so really no questions, just meditating on an overall reading for my audience. And then I will need a napkin or some sort of saucer for at the very end of the tea. You flip the cup over, and I'll show that, and then you flip it back over, and you'll see the different tea leaf markings that are left on the cup. And it's kind of like cloud gazing when you look up at the clouds and you're like, oh, I see a bear. But then you go and you jot down all the different things that you see. The stuff closer to the top of the cup is stuff that's coming sooner. The stuff at the bottom of the cup is coming later than the stuff at the top. And so you jot down all the things that you see, and then normally I go and I look up the spiritual meanings of those things. So like a butterfly metaphorically means change or like rebirth, things like that. So I'm going to drink this tea and then we'll be back. Okay, so I figured while I drink this tea, I might as well talk a little bit about Samhain. It's like still super hot. Oh, how I make the tea as well. Basically, I just like cure egg or warm up hot water in the microwave. I take a tea bag, so I do have loose leaf tea, but they're really big, so it doesn't get the same effect. But I normally take like a green leaf tea bag. There's different teas mean different meanings. I just prefer green tea because green tea is my favorite. But you take a green leaf tea bag, cut it open, or any tea bag, dump it in there, mix it up, let it settle. I do think that if you put the tea in there first and then the water, it kind of helps. You don't have to mix it up as much, and then you don't have leaves getting stuck on your spoon, because you want to keep as many leaves in there as possible. So yeah, and then you drink it. You are gonna have leaves probably get into your mouth, onto your lips. It is what it is. It's not my favorite either, because I'm very a texture person. So when I'm drinking tea, I'm not expecting leaves. A little bit about Samhain. So Samhain, why we do divination on Samhain is because it is believed that the veil is at its thinnest on, I believe it's normally 5 nights, starting Samhain night and then 5 nights afterwards. So which I believe would be like November 5th or something like that. So the veil is at its thinnest, and this October has been wild with the different celestial things happening, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for this Samhain, when tomorrow the veil is at its thinnest. I have been noticing the veil getting thinner throughout this October, so that's been interesting. I haven't really noticed that before. And I don't know if I've just been more open and aware of it this year or what, but I have been noticing the veil getting thinner. I'm not going to talk too much about it just because it's personal to me. So, yeah. And I don't want to be judged, which I know this is a no hate space, but extra protection, I guess. Anyways, so that's why divination is done on this night, because the veil is believed to be at its thinnest. It's also the Day of the Dead celebration. So I honestly think that that's kind of amazing that the Day of the Dead and Samhain have this literally like the same rituals. Both of them make sort of like an altar, an ofrenda, and place family's favorite meals, snacks, foods, trinkets, and leave those as offerings. In the pagan ritual for Samhain, or Celtic, you do a dumb dinner, which means that you don't speak, and typically it's foods for your family members that they would have preferred, that they would have liked, and you leave a seat open for them. And so if you have 5 people coming to your dinner, you have 6 seats and you leave that one seat open. So I thought that was very interesting, especially so Coco had a big impact on me, because I knew about the Day of the Dead, but I didn't really know much about it. And after watching that movie, I just felt like it was something that I was really called to, that I really loved the aspect of your loved ones coming back and just like remembering your loved ones. Like, this was a day to specifically remember and honor your ones that had passed, and I really loved that. So that's when I started kind of getting into the ofrendas, and I started making the ofrendas without even realizing that it was witchcraft, or a part of witchcraft. And so it just felt natural when it became part of me to do Samhain and I got into witchcraft, that this was a very important day for me. It's also known to do fires on this day. So in the Celtic area, they go on to, I believe it's a mountain or a hill, I can't remember. They light a huge bonfire, and it's normal to take back branches or torches and then go light your house, not up, but with like candles with the torch. And so to do that in your home, if you have people coming over, you can light your own candle and then light their candles with your candle, and then you don't put them out until they leave. Yeah, so that's a couple traditions to do on Samhain and just some history about it. It was normal because of the fairies, like I said, that do mischief and would come to steal you away at night. It's normal for people to like dress up to trick the fairies. This is also where jack-o'-lanterns come in, because they believe that the faces that were scary would deter fairies or evil beings away, the benevolent spirits away that come through on the veil as well. So yeah, that's some origins on Samhain, and I still need to drink this really hot tea, so. Okay, so we're here at the end of the tea. So you can see there's still like some liquid in it, which you want. Also, like, you're not going to be able to drink any of that without getting leaves in your mouth, and it's gross. So Normally I get some plates. My actual saucer that I use is like rounded, so I don't normally get paper towels. So you put it on here like that, kind of let it settle, do a couple swirls, and then flip it over. And I have a feeling that a good amount of leaves probably came out because of how much liquid was in it. You let it sit, think about your intention, what you want to ask. I'm just doing a general reading for my audience. General reading for my audience. A general reading for my audience. And then flip it over. Oh, actually we got a good amount still left. Not gonna lie, that looks like Pac-Man. Or like a crescent moon, but I don't know what that would be. And then we've got all of this. So I'm going to take a moment to let you all just see the cup. I'll tell you what I see and maybe like what 3 of the symbols mean spiritually. But this is really up for your guys' interpretation. I gotta find the camera. Hold up. Okay. Let's see if I can focus on that better. Okay. So that's the bottom of the cup. I'll rotate it to see if you see something in a different position. Hi, Stitchy. Okay, and then try to get a shot of the edges of the cup. That one's got a lot. Okay. So I'm gonna get a closer look of the cup. 3 symbols that I see. So right here, see kind of like the head and then a tail. That's what I see there. If that's not what you see, that's all good for you. But I also see like 2 feet down here. Kind of looks like Discord from My Little Ponies, if you ever watched that. But to me, it looks like a dragon. So there's that one. And then down here, okay, I see like a head and then shoulders, a torso, and then legs. And then like kind of like an arm reaching out. So I see very much like a person. And then down here at the bottom, I see almost like a Peanuts character, like a child. Like that being the head and then the body. And then almost like they're begging. You see like the hands right there, almost like they're praying. So that's what I see there. They're like almost kind of under a shelter. So that's what I see. And then, so I've never been able to look up what like meanings of like specific humans mean spiritually. But a child begging or wishing makes me think that there's a desire or a dream that you really want. And I'm gonna guess that probably you're gonna be answered. There's like this protection over here. So they're here for you. They're here to guide you. Even though you're looking away and you don't see it. And it kind of looks like your inner child is like got this dream, this wish. And there's almost even kind of like a hand right there too. This person, they're reaching out. Maybe that's like a spirit guide or a friend reaching out to help you. And then the dragon. The dragon I can look up. And the crescent moon that I see, or like kind of almost like a half moon. And Pac-Man, I don't know. So let me look that up real quick, and I'll let you know what the dragon means and the crescent moon, or we're gonna call it more like, is that waning or waxing? We'll look it up, because I don't think it's more like a crescent moon. I feel like it's more like a gibbous or a half, so I'll let you know. It was a waxing moon, meaning spiritual growth, offerings, dreams, and desires, which actually, from what I saw, kind of makes sense. That inner child with their dreams and desires really trying to reach hold. Honestly, I was like, is this my reading? Which it might be, because I am the one who drank it, even though I was wanting it for the audience. But I hope that you saw something that maybe I didn't see, or maybe this does really connect to you. So that moon, dreams, desires, offerings, spiritual growth, and that thing kind of protecting that inner child, seeing the dreams and wanting to offer the dreams, desires to be realized. The hydro dragon. So I typically, this is why I'm scared that it was my reading and not for the audience. I typically get a hydro dragon. I don't know why. So I'm a Pisces, very connected to water, always been connected to water. Growing up, my grandparents have a pool, and so I was always swimming, always wanted to swim, loved swimming. Called me a fish at one point because I just loved being in the water. Did springboard diving. I just loved being in the water. I would spend every day at the pool for as long as possible in the summer. I do love swimming. So a lot of times I will get a hydro dragon, meaning they're wise old souls. They're very connected to their emotions because they're water, which is also part of water signs. They bring balance, intuition. They're very in tune with their intuition, which that spiritual growth may be what's coming. I do believe in dragons as spirit guides, so I do think that I have a hydro dragon as a spirit guide, and so I hope maybe my hydro dragon is coming to give you gifts and spiritual growth and intuition, maybe through my videos. So yeah, there's that reading. That person reaching out is probably you reaching out for help in the spiritual growth, and your inner child wanting their dreams and desires to be realized and met. So yeah, that's a little bit of tea leaf reading. At least that's what I saw. If you saw something different, I would love to know. Please comment them. Also, please comment your questions, any questions. I take challenging questions. I don't shy away from those. Yeah, so I hope you have a beautiful Samhain. I hope it is magical. I hope maybe you do some divination. I was really hoping to get, I had divination rods, which are basically like an L-shape metal iron rod, and there's like a cylinder that goes over the rod so the rod can kind of move freely. You just hold the cylinder. You don't want to move the rod at all. You try to hold still as much as you possibly can. Helps if you get kind of into a meditative state where you're calm and you're just letting it flow. And then you ask questions, and works best for spirits. You want to make sure that you're calling in your real authentic or real high vibrational human entities. You don't want to just call in anything. That's offering upper room for anything to come, and even though you put protection up, you're still offering them to come in. So be careful with that. I wish I had them. I haven't been able to find them since I moved, so I don't know where they are, and it's making me really mad. I have a pendulum that I will be using. I haven't been able to tune in with this pendulum as well as I have with other ones. I have gone to like witch shops, and I was like, kind of like, pendulums. They just like, they're just there. They're like a trick of the mind, kind of like a Ouija board. But in the witch shop, the pendulum actually like was pulling to one direction, and I thought that was wild. And the board was just a normal board. It didn't have like magnets in it or anything. So my friends got me a pendulum. I don't know, I just don't seem very in tune with it or something. I haven't been able to get very clear answers. Just kind of swings, and that one and a different one that I tried, it pulled. Like, it wasn't swinging, it was pulling. So there's that. I always try to call upon some sort of past celebrity. I had tried to call upon Alan Rickman last year. He did not come through, but he is like one of my big idols in acting. So I would love to speak with him sometime, and I'm hoping, I mean, I know he's got to go to his family. He's got family that he's looking over to, but I would love if he would take some time out to talk to me, a fan, sometime. That would be amazing. Stay protected from the fairies and the bad spirits, and I hope you have some good divination, and maybe a ancestor or a loved one will come through for you, and that would be really awesome. If it does, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know so I can answer them. Not on this Witchy Wednesday, on the next Wednesday, Witchy Wednesday. I would love to answer them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. It's every Witchy Wednesday. Sometimes when a holiday like Samhain comes up and it's not on Witchy Wednesday, there will be a special episode. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time.